Hi, so it's the review show on the whole review. Very tiny haul this week. I've got one, two, three, four, five, six, and a mystery seven, which I'll come to later. So first of all, starts with one of the constantly fun comics, value for money as well. $6.99. You get 64 story pages, and this is Savage Sword of Conan number 10. So this cover is by Mike Mignola, and it's the what's it called? Sailor Steve Costigan. So it's one of Robert E. Howard's lesser known characters, very much a pulp ground street level hero. Really fun story. It's got wonderful artwork by um, Roberto Delator, who's like the first Conan the Barbarian artist when Titan came out with the Conan titles. So it's got his nice European kind of flavour of art style. Really fun story. I'd like to see more adventures of Steve Costigan. All the stories in this issue are written by Jim Zub because this is the lead into the um, is it the Curse of the Serpent, whatever it's called, Scourge of the Serpent miniseries. What's coming out this month, and the main story is again by one of the um, faithfuls of the ongoing Conan regular comic, Dougie Braithwaite, and it's a good comic story. It's a good story that links into Conan the Barbarian story from about a number of issues ago, about 6 issues, I think it was, something like that. But yeah, very satisfactory. One and done story, as they mostly are with Savage Sword of Conan. The only weak story in here, which I can forgive because it's only about a 10 page story, or maybe a bit more. And this is the Fang and Spear prehistoric tale. It's featuring one of Robert E. Howard's. I think it was the first pulp character that he had published, but it's by the artist Mike Ruth, and I do not like the art. The art is pretty ugly in this one, so it kind of pulled me out of the story. It just seemed very subpar compared to the other two stories in this. So for that reason, I would give this a 7 out of 10. But it's a good comic. It's always good. I mean, a week, 10 pages isn't bad when you've got 64 pages. So you've got still left with 54 pages of quality content. And then we'll move on to my one other indie, which is from IDW. This is Godzilla. This is the what do they call it? The Kai. Yeah, the Kaisei universe. So there's three. There's going to be three Godzilla titles. This one, oh, fuck. And then there's Godzilla Escape the Dead Zone, which I really liked, which is about a person who's half human and half Godzilla. And then there's going to be a new one called Starship Godzilla, which looks very mecha, very anime inspired. But this one is like the parent title, focusing on this team whose sole purpose is to battle kaiju, Godzilla, etc. And so it's very much more a team book. It's much more about the interpersonal relationships with the people on the team. And so Godzilla only makes a few appearances in this issue, and there's a overarching mystery as well, where there's a villain that's appeared. And I enjoyed it. I know it won't be for some people's cup of tea. It depends what you want from your Godzilla. But I like it when they push the boundaries a bit with what you can do with Godzilla. And I really enjoyed it. I'm enjoying the whole. I've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed the other one, and I'm sure I'll enjoy the new one. What's coming out because it's done by really creative team. So this one's done by Tim Seeley and I always forget the artist's name. Nicola Sesmaja, who did the Dan Waters Sword of Azrael miniseries. So it's got great art, really punchy, quick moving story. Yeah, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. And then we're on to DC. So first up is Absolute Batman number 12. Oh my god. By the way, just the art. Nick Dragotta's back on, and he is the king of the small panels, how to fit as much information and action in a page. But this one really leans heavily into the body horror side of this current storyline. It's like a Cronenbergian nightmare. It really is. It doesn't hold back from showing you what happens. So Bruce's friends now, the ones who consist of people who in the normal universe of Batman are his rogues gallery. This now shows how they become like that, but even more heightened, horrific version of what we're used to seeing in the normal DC universe. So they become manifestations. So you've already got this. One of his friends become a full killer croc, literal crocodile now, and the others become what we expect to see, but heightened. And it doesn't flinch from showing. So each page turn, it's like a slap, 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 and you feel a bit punch drunk with each page turn. But it's wonderful. It's wild. It's really visceral and really grabs your attention. So 9 out of 10. And I'm just going to say 9 out of 10. Another Batman title that's fantastic. So this is the final story arc of this 12-issue maxi series, and it's the Child of Fire Part 1. So this is dealing with an arsonist, and in this story, Batman's rarely seen because he's battling a fever at the same time. So this is like the setting the stage for this story of this arsonist, and the layouts and the color work and the line work by Hayden Sherman and colors by Triona Farrell are just absolutely wonderful. It's one of the most beautiful books on the stands at the moment, and yeah, 9 out of 10, just wonderful. You need to buy this. And another book I'm having so much fun with is Action Comics. This is 1090. Love that Ryan Suit cover. So this is my favourite Superman title. I love the vibe, like I've said before. It's like the Wonder Years with a hint of Smallville. And it's got the perfect writing of Mark Waid. And the artwork by Skylar Partridge is so good for this teen-centric flashback series. And it doesn't go in directions that you expect it to go in. I like how he writes Clark's parents as well. I just like the whole setting how Clark's very insecure about his powers, and he's still discovering his powers. So there's a funny bit in here where he thinks that Lana Lang is being flirtatious with him. So he's convinced that he's got super pheromones now. And then he realizes that no, she's not flirting with him. And then he realizes, oh, I've not got super pheromones. It's just a really sweet, funny moment. So he's still quite geeky when he's not even trying to be Clark Kent. But yeah, it's just wonderful. It's progressing the story nicely. It ends on a good cliffhanger. 8 out of 10. And then a new comic that blew me away this week, completely different in tone to anything else out this week, and it's called C.O.R.R.T. Children of the Round Table. This is by Tom Taylor and what's the artist's name? Danielle Di Nicolo. This was the team behind the 12-issue season Boom from a few years back called Seven Secrets, which I adore. If you've never read it, do hunt out the books. They're well worth reading. It's very child-centric. It's child-centric in the way that I'd say Kaya and Bone and a few of comics backstage and that live where it's featuring children, but as an adult you can enjoy them as well. And it's a fun. The artwork to start with is just gorgeous, and it's a fun reinvention of the Arthurian legend. So this boulder rolls down at them, and there's a sword hanging out of it. And the girl with the red hair, she manages to pull the sword out, and the sword's embodied with the spirits of King Arthur. And there's other weapon. The stone cracks open, and other weapons spring out and fall at the feet of each of the children. And they're all embodied by the different knights of the Round Table. Apart from one of the kids, this kid here, he gets a manky old staff, and he's going, "Great, you'll get great swords and spears, etc., and I get this crappy little staff." But it's dynamic, it's fun, it's one that you can read, what you can read with children. But my daughter's 17, but I'm buying this for myself because the artwork's dynamic, the story is really fast-paced. It's initially listed as a 6-issue creator-owned series, but they do say if it picks up enough steam that they'll carry on, and I hope they do, because It's a world I really enjoyed, and it's a breath of fresh air from a lot of the grim and gritty what's out there. And I really enjoy it. I'm loving how there's a lot of all ages comics nowadays, because sometimes you don't just want something that's full of despair and angst and endless fights and self-introspection. Sometimes you just want something that's just pure escapism, and that's what this is. The artwork's fantastic, and I'm going to give this 9 out of 10. And it would have been my pick of the week, apart from one other comic that's come out, and that's, I'm sure it came out in America ages before we've received it, but this is Heavy Metal #2. What can I say? I can't give a real review at the moment because I'm still reading through, because there's over 230 pages within here. It's $14.99, but if you think about that, so if you split it into 3 lots of $5, that'd be 3 Marvel comics, which would just amount to 60 pages of story. In here, you've got 230 pages of story, and it's with some of the best art you can imagine. It's gorgeous, gorgeous artwork. So one of my favourite artists is Enki Bilal, who's got this serialized story running through at the moment, which is a real great near future story. Duke Myton, who did Accident Man for Toxic years ago, and he's done lots of other stuff as well. And then you've got other stories like this. Burton and Saib, who are a heavy metal staple from years ago. Tana, who's now written by Liam Moore, Alan Moore's daughter, and John Reppen. Got to be careful what I show because there's quite a bit of nudity. Really fun, psychedelic, almost like Brendan McCarthy style artwork of a series called Dominoes. And so on and so on. There's loads and loads of stories in here. Buy it, just buy it. It's worth cancelling 3 of your books just to get this, because you get much more value for money. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 because I know when I finish it, I'm going to enjoy it just for the sheer packaging as well. There's interesting articles. It's a magazine for adults, and it doesn't talk down to you. It doesn't and it's adult stories without it just being like the Red Band comics where it's just, oh, it's adult because it's got blood in it. No, it's got adult storylines. And yeah, this is the best relaunch we've had in years. And if you notice, I've no Marvel again. I've stopped buying monthly Marvel. And it's not because the stories are bad. Far from it. There's some that are really strong at the moment. Captain America's strong. Mortal Thor is really strong. I kind of enjoyed, up to a point, the Jonathan Hickman Space one, which I can't remember what it's called now. And of course, the new Punisher Red Band's come out. I'll be getting those, but I'll be getting those in collected editions. Basic reason, I hate how Marvel curate the comics, how they lay out the adverts. So there's one I picked up last week or something. It could have been Mortal 4 or could have been a Captain America. And there's an advert on the first page. And then you turn the page, there's a page of artwork and then an advert. And it's like every second page there's adverts. And it's like, it pulls you out of the story. If you get, for example, I'll show you a DC comic. So DC comic. Story, 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 story. And then, so you've got about 8 pages, and then suddenly you get that for showing what's coming out in the Superman titles. And then story, 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 story. So you get about another 8 pages, and then one more advert. So it doesn't interrupt the flow of the story. You're not thinking, ugh. But I view Marvel, I was trying to think of how I could compare it. Say in the UK we have streaming services, which are quite different, similar to what you have in America, but there's some that are different, I think. So the ones that I have got Disney Plus because I'm on a special offer at the moment, and I've got Netflix because I get it through my phone, so I don't pay for it. And I also have Amazon Prime just for this month. And the reason it's just for this month because Amazon Prime really winds me up, because you're watching a program and within 5 minutes there's 2 minutes of adverts, and it carries on like that, and that's the subscription what you pay for. Whereas Netflix, they have one advert at the beginning, and then you can watch about 3 episodes before they put another advert on. And Disney's quite good at restricting the advert content as well. And Marvel is like Amazon Prime, where just throwing adverts in your face on nearly every alternate page. It's just too much. So even if I'm enjoying a story, it's just not worth me reading it and getting angry about it because it makes me not enjoy the story anymore. So I'd rather just wait a few months and just get the Invincible Collector's Edition. And that's my long way saying I'm not getting Marvel anymore, so you won't be seeing reviews of Marvel apart from when I get the collector's editions, which will do a review of the trade paperback. So yeah, I hope I didn't waffle on too much, but I'm sure I did. Anyway, have a nice day. Bye.